Vinyl community. Hey, it's James. Back here. It's been a while, but it's nice to jump back into another video, and I'm honored to be part of the Blue Note Project once again. Today we're going to be talking about Donald Byrd Royal Flush. This is 4101. This came out, was recorded September 21st, 1961. Donald Byrd's 8th album on the Blue Note label. And he was only 29, but a veteran of jazz at this point. And he kept progressing more and more throughout all of his albums. And this one starts to really push the limits. Still rooted in hard bop, but if you really take a listen to it and then patient with it, you can see how he's advancing into other forms, whether you call it modal or anything else. But his compositions are a little bit more complex on some of these tracks. I love Donald Byrd. You know, in that time period, there were so many. It was the golden era of trumpet players. I mean, you can go on and on. Obviously, Lee Morgan, Freddie Hubbard, Blue Mitchell, Art Farmer, Kenny Dorham. For me, what separates Donald Byrd a little bit is he didn't necessarily play with the fire that like a Hubbard or a Morgan would have, and it's not a detraction on his style at all. He had this restrained quality to it, and it wasn't as if, the way I interpret it, it wasn't as if he was holding back. It was just this kind of beautiful tone, and you know, he never really pushed it. He just kind of kept it in this own little pocket of his, and this very majestic, elegiac quality to his playing throughout. But again, yeah, this one he was kind of taking things to the limit, or I'm sorry, pushing the boundaries a little bit. And as we all know, he was always searching, you know, obviously when he got into the late 60s and the 70s with his more funk-based things that, you know, some purists don't necessarily like. But that's just kind of an overall feeling of Donald Byrd. To me, he has a kind of a special place with trumpeters. But anyway, let's get into the album. Again, this was recorded September 21st, 1961. You have Pepper Adams on baritone, which he had a long relationship with, did a lot of stuff with Pepper Adams. You have Herbie Hancock, Billy Higgins, and on bass, Butch Warren. This is notable, really, this was very notable for Herbie Hancock. This was his first session that he was ever recorded on. This is his first, you know, time he had any credit on any record. I think he was 21 at the time. So Byrd, and Billy Higgins was new too. He wasn't new, but he was still young. Obviously, he had done stuff with Ornette Coleman. But Donald Byrd was doing something in the tradition of a lot of musicians, jazz musicians, where he was bringing in younger blood, giving them a chance, because he knew he had faith in the young guys, like the previous generation did before him. So it has that that quality of a veteran bringing in fresh blood. So yeah, this is a really great album. I think, like I said before, when I did the I Quebec record, this series is helping me rediscover things that I hadn't listened to for quite a while. So over the past few weeks, I played this thing maybe 10 times and got to really know it in a way that I hadn't before. So let's get into it. I don't want to necessarily go through each track. That said, the opening track, Hush, is kind of a standard kind of kickoff tune for most Blue Note records, that kind of swinging, driving tone. Byrd and Pepper Adams trading solos. And actually, one thing I did want to mention is is Pepper Adams is the perfect foil for Donald Byrd in their association, because Byrd has that really gentle, sweeping tone. Even when he's blowing hard, he still manages to have that tone that he never kind of goes out of control with it, and never tries to play with too much fire. So it's kind of softer. And then when Pepper Adams comes in with his solo, it's almost like they turned up the volume in the booth. Obviously they didn't, but Pepper Adams comes in with that really powerful baritone. So they really play off each other in that way. It's a great combination on not just this album, but really most of the records that they did together in their prime. Um, the second track, side one, is my favorite on this album, although it's nothing original. It's "I'm a Fool to Want You," the ballad. Um, that's the kind of song, or that is the song where any album I see that has a version of that, I'm gonna get it. To me, it's probably my favorite ballad of any of those standards. Um, on this one, Higgins and Hancock, the rhythm they lay down behind him is so gentle, um, so soft, and it provides this beautiful foundation for Bert. He's so sensitive in this rendition of his playing. It's so masterful, um, just gorgeous. I mean, the clouds open up and the light shines down from the skies. Just gorgeous tone. I mean, it's the kind of song you can listen to over and over again and always find something new in it. Um, just amazing. I mean, I can't talk enough about that. "I'm a Fool to Want You." Um, just as a quick personal note, the first time I ever heard this song, I had of any version. I think it was the Dexter Gordon version on Clubhouse. First time I ever heard it, I was in the midst of a horrible breakup, and I was driving across the Golden Gate Bridge, heading back into the city from Marin, and kind of in a fog, kind of an emotional fog. And the song came on as I was crossing the bridge, and it just captivated me. And then when the song was over and the DJ announced the name of the song, "I'm a Fool to Want You," it was it was almost like a lesson I learned about this breakup I was going through, and it almost gave me the answer to what I needed to do about that situation. "I'm a Fool to Want You." It says it all. Just gorgeous. The last song on side three, or I'm sorry, the last song on side one is "Yorgies," named after a club. I think it was a club that was in St. Louis. That is a nice medium tempo. I won't call it a ballad. A nice medium tempo with kind of some modal leanings to it. It really provides a nice backdrop again for Byrd and Pepper Adams to play solos. Side two kicks off with "Shangri-La," a little bit more of a hard swinging kind of track, but in that one you can also see elements of in the composition where Byrd is pushing things to the limits. I know that some writings I've seen about this, they say that Byrd was not necessarily being influenced by the avant-garde, but he was kind of adding elements of the avant-garde here. I don't know whether that's really true or not. I don't really see that, but it's interesting to see that interpretation of that song. Two more songs, 6M's. It's the number 6M dash apostrophe. Second song, side two. Real bluesy, kind of back to the tradition. Nothing fancy here, but just a nice bluesy number, and Byrd's really going back to the roots of his youth, and obviously of all jazz, going back to the bluesy stuff. And the last song, side two, is "Requiem." Here Donald Byrd gave Herbie Hancock a chance to include one of his own compositions. "Requiem" is not, it's not a ballad, but it's a very contemplative, track with some interesting time changes to it. Nice way to close out the side. I know a lot of Blue Note albums seem to have that track listing very thought out, where it would kick off side 1 with a real swinger and end side 2 with something a little bit more thoughtful to kind of tie a nice bow to it. So that's it. Again, I came back to this. I listened to this album from time to time throughout the years, and I love it. But over the last few weeks, I've listened to this again around 10 times, and it just gets better and better. I don't know. I think there was a reissue of this that came out in the last couple years. This is a 70s reissue with the Blue Bee, as we all know. One of these. So yeah, Donald Byrd, Royal Flush, September 1961. Great record. And yeah, that's it. Really enjoyed, again, listening to this album again after a long time and doing the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. And if you hadn't listened to it for a long time, throw it on. You'll enjoy it. And if you don't have it, go pick it up. All right, later.